Greetings, my extraordinary league of extraordinary mentalgen. My name is Rayburn, and today we are coming back with another interview. And this is someone who I consider a very good friend, um, someone who's helped me out. I wouldn't even have a YouTube channel right now if it wasn't for this person. He's helped me get off the ground running. I wouldn't even know how to use my editing software at all if it wasn't for this man. Ladies and gentlemen, the mysterious Mr. Paladin.
G'day, all MrPaladin here, and it's kind of true. I did find him fumbling about his keys in the gutter somewhere. Wasn't that right? What? How did we meet? I'm trying to remember. We met
I,
through mutual friends, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was something about a fish sandwich.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was fish.
Yeah, I don't know what else it could be, but we're just gonna jump right in. And well, Paladin, how did 2015 treat you and your YouTube channel?
Oh, the YouTube channel's grown pretty good over 2015. I mean, it was nice growth. My channel's getting pretty. I don't know. I say it's old. I've been working at it for quite some time. It's a couple of years old now, but it saw a lot of growth in 2015. As I think either people have been finding the channel, or maybe I've just been doing some more funnier content lately, and it's been more appealing. Who knows? Because for a while, all I had was a bunch of tutorial type stuff, and a lot of my older videos, wasn't like 1080p, 60 FPS and stuff like that. So I've improved my hardware. I've gotten more comfortable with myself and my videos. So maybe I don't know. There's a lot of factors. You know how it is.
Yes, I do know how it is. Another thing I know is that a lot of your earlier stuff wasn't just TF2, and there was a time where it went to just TF2, and that's when the channel started growing. And then you've been able to deviate a little bit, and how does that feel, being able to do a little bit more than just TF2, even though for most people who look at your channel right now, like the past 50 videos have been just like TF2, but seeing a video of yours that wasn't TF2 having over like 10,000 views is still pretty good for a game specific channel.
Yeah, I'm able to branch out now. I kind of lost the question in there. There was
Yeah, I did too.
what was the question?
I actually had a question leading up to it, and I actually forgot to put this in, but it just hit me like a ton of bricks.
Okay, hold
Um,
on. I got it. It was how do I feel about being able to do other games and stuff,
yeah,
which is
that was it.
nice. I mean, I think people are starting to understand my personality. I mean, I'm doing some like vlog type, video log videos where I'm fielding questions. I'm exposing a little bit more and more about how I am in real life and where I am in real life, and just trying to, people out there, subscribers, really want to get to know you, and they really want to understand what you feel about certain subjects and what you're thinking on certain subjects. So as that's come about, it's allowed me to branch out to other games naturally. Mr. Paladin, how do you feel about this alpha game? Do you want to play this really popular game, etc., etc., that kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you think I just thought of this because I actually talked to another YouTuber about I talked to Dane about this. Do you think Star and Germa kind of going incognito helped at all, because it created a vacuum where there's like people were looking for the TF2 content that they're not getting anymore because they took a step back.
It's quite possible. I mean, some of the other things are some things that YouTube channel makers can't control. I mean, YouTube itself suggests videos at the end of other videos, and there's nothing you can do to force those in there unless you pay oodles of money to YouTube, I guess. I guess that's why I get Minecraft and stuff videos after the end of my videos, because somebody's paying someone.
Yeah, I think I found your channel after I think I found one of your videos after Germa. No, it was a stabby video. It was your trick stab, which I
Oh
think
yeah,
is one of
yeah,
your most
that
popular.
one that one was very popular.
Yeah, and are you excited about the future of your channel?
Yeah, well, I'm having fun with it. So anything I have fun with, it keeps my interest. I'm keeping my eye out on a couple of alpha games right now, and I really want to almost see the thing coming after TF2, because TF2 is starting to age. It's getting to be an old game now.
Yeah, as sad as it is, and I think the next thing coming out is going to be coming out in spring, with that being Overwatch. Seems to
Yeah,
be TF2's
some
competitor.
people are tipping their hat towards Overwatch. I haven't actually played any Overwatch yet, just because I've been busy with the other things I've been looking at. I've been looking at the Warhammer game. I'm in the alpha for Road Redemption. I got lots of games. Like the Steam sale that just came out at the Chinese New Year. I was looking through it, and I was saying, you know what? There's a couple good games in here, but I simply do not have time to play anything new right now.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the what was the Road Rage? Was that it? I just
Yeah,
missed like
Road
yeah,
Redemption is
Road
like an
Redemption.
updated version of Road Rage. No, sorry, not Road Rage. Road Rash, which
It's
is the
basically Road
old game.
Rage.
Yeah, it's basically Road Rage. You go riding your motorcycle in a race and you're beating other motorcycle riders up. So yeah, it's pretty ragey.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about that, but the Eternal Crusade Alpha, I've been playing it a little bit here and there, playing a match or two. I haven't been playing it too much because it's still early alpha and not
Exactly.
everything's
Yeah, I've been
optimized.
trying to get into the tactics and stuff of it yet, but they're still really changing things daily, and things are performance issues like you're saying. But what I like seeing is what they're doing with each of the changes and how the core game is growing into a really good Warhammer 40k game. It really is.
Oh yeah, that you get in the grips of someone who has melee, you're not getting out alive.
Yeah, in the last update, I thought I had my melee down pat and I could like walk up to anyone and come at me, bro, no problem. And then they introduced the power fist, and I can't block it, and so I could get surprised by people. So where I used to walk into the room and say, "Hey, how's everyone going?" I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, no more face stabs in Warhammer.
Exactly.
So, do you think there's going to be any signs of you stopping at all? Like no more TF2, like or no more YouTube, like
No,
in the
not in the
future?
near future. No, TF2 is still nice and strong. It still has my interest. I still have fun while I'm playing it. So yeah, I'll be playing it for some while. Like I said, I think I'll be playing it on and off anyway until there is really a replacement for it. There's no other really great class-based team games out there. The closest things are the Battlefield games, but the latest Battlefield games didn't impress me much. I don't know. I played them for a
Hardline.
little while, but then, yeah.
Oh, those games were rough. So, you got any? And I know, especially the southeastern, the Georgia fans, and few maybe some on the borders of Alabama, Tennessee, the Carolinas, maybe Florida. Any plans on doing scheduled public meetups with your fans this year, or the perhaps the Grand Pally World Tour?
Yeah, I'd love to do a world tour someday. I like traveling. I mean, me and the missus went over to a Euro trip not too long ago. But anyway, as far as local events, yes, I'd like to meet up. I'd like to, have safe places. I'd like to meet up with a bit more warning. A lot of the stuff that I've done, it's like me and the kids were like, oh, let's go do laser tag. Oh, let's, let the internet know we're going out to laser tag if anyone wants to come along. But of course, that's really short notice for my fans. And, a lot of fans have to check their schedules, have to maybe even find transportation. Not everyone can just jump in their own car and come along.
Yeah, and are you going to be doing like different types of meetups, like like kind of like the kid-friendly ones, like Sky Zone or something, or like the all-arounds at Six Flags, or like for the more the adults who watch your stuff? Like, yeah, I know I told you I'm not going to any of like the Sky Zone ones or anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah, of
you
course.
go to a game, you go to like a bar, a gaming bar or something. I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of places I've checked out. A good example of one that would be good meetups for all types would be like there's been mention of the Dragon Con coming out in 2016. So started talking about that with some of the other YouTubers. I could easily do events up at some of the gaming bars and stuff in Georgia, and that was yeah. There's lots of options.
Yeah,
The main key is like letting people know where and when. And currently, the best thing I've found for that is Facebook. So, like, I do a Facebook event, and then I'll use the other social medias that I have to point to the Facebook event. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I'll have his social media linked down below in the description. Just so you guys can get your pally fix.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's links to all that in my frequently asked questions, or if you go to any recent video, you'll find links to everything.
Yeah. And this next one's kind of related to, well, pretty much every other question I've asked so far. You have one of the fastest growing TF2 channels, and by subscriber count and relative activity, not everyone's posting like you are, but they're still posting enough to be counted in the same group. You are one of the largest TF2 channels that is around, and to my recollection, the ones who still actively post, you're only behind Muselk, and you always go back and forth with Dane all the time. And I think I mentioned that to him, how you guys, like, I'll look at your channel one day and he'll be like 5,000 subscribers ahead, and you'll be 5,000 ahead the next. Did you ever
Yeah.
think it would get this far? And how do you try not to let the fact that you could fill a football stadium with the number of fans you have? How does that not get
Yeah,
to your head?
that was a funny number. Like when I got the silver play button, I really started to think about how many people is that, and I think a football game, sure enough, did come up. It was like one of the Georgia college football games, and they announced how many people were at the stadium, and I'm like, well, dang. So yeah, I mean, I'm talking with Dane. We really should do some more collaborations with Dane. I like collaborating with other YouTubers because they kind of get what's going on with the YouTube stuff, and they've got their own personalities going on. So it's fun to see how we interact.
Yeah, and I know you guys did something with Spiky Mikey, and he's like he's a little favorite of mine. And he's small. He's bigger than me, but he's still a pretty small channel.
Yeah, that
Um,
that last event we did had a lot of Euro YouTubers on it, and some of them I wasn't familiar with, but they all seemed like they're great guys. They seemed to know what they were doing, and it was fun to play.
Yeah, and it's like I told Dave, I was like, one of the great things about TF2 being a smaller game is that, like, the YouTubing community, it's like even the small time people for the most part, because even small YouTubers in TF2, and I'm talking like below 1,000, there's not many of them, so it's a pretty tight knit community, and it's not too hard to get into contact with people. I mean, of course, it helps to know somebody, but
Yeah, well, actually, as far as the community's going, I find there's almost two types of community in TF2, and they don't tend to intersect too well. There's one side that wants to play the game with teamwork and working with your teammates and stuff like that. Then there's the side that wants to troll, have fun. They're only concerned with their own entertainment as they're playing the multiplayer game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I know there's one channel I've kind of had mixed feelings about that, but the one thing I do like about him, and I mean everyone knows who I'm talking about, Stealthy, is that generally when he does put out a video, Valve will get that thing fixed like that day or the next day,
Yeah, I
which
understand. I totally understand why channels like that exist. I don't tend to agree with them, but it's out there and it's a part of what you have to work with.
yeah, they have their purposes. Um,
Indeed,
so
it's just like life. There's a lot of different life out there.
Yeah, and now some of the people in the TF2 scene straight up don't like you. And as someone who started out as a fan, who's become a friend, even to the point of collaborating together, like I said, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel if it wasn't for you. You told me, it's like, yeah, you should make one. And actually meeting up, I can say we've had arguments, quite a
Yeah,
few, but it's still a good friend I can rely on for help in and
yeah.
out of
You know, I,
TF2.
I'm an older guy, and I have no problem with people wanting to talk. I tend to understand another person's point of view, even if I don't agree with their point of view. I at least understand why they have that point of view. You don't have to like apples to know that other people like apples. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there are some people out there who do not like me. Maybe they were in a game and I had to kick them because they were building a troll teleporter that went somewhere and that really upset them. Or maybe I was on the enemy team and I did better than them. There's all sorts of reasons why somebody could get upset at you. They could pick and choose whatever they want. Whatever it is, they're upset, and there's nothing you can say or do that's going to get somebody to like you. So yeah, there's haters out there. There's people who don't like me, but it's not what they do, it's what I do. You know, it's what you do as a person. You know, somebody could be bitter all their life, and that's up to them. But it's not what people call you; it's what you answer to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people. I know some people are already thinking about it. It's like, well, he said this in the comments. Nuance and inflections in your voice is lost over text. So, I mean, I know speaking of disagreements, I know we've had times where like we could like, dude, said to each other like, dude, you're being an asshole. But then we got in Mumble and actually talked, and it's like, oh, no,
Yeah,
no, it
no,
wasn't that
no.
way.
Yeah, yeah. Text is really difficult. You know, one of the biggest things, and I find it hard even in YouTube comments, is when somebody is just making a joke, but I don't know if it's a joke or if somebody's being, sharp at me, trying to be edgy or trying to get me mad. You know, that's why I often, if it's a joke, I'll often put a little smiley face. It seems to be the internet's international symbol of, hey, this is just a joke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I know I've had problems with that on my own channel and other channels where someone wasn't meaning something that way, but it sure did sound like it because you can't hear how they're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it.
You don't know their mindset, and I try and take every comment as being a positive one, unless somebody has really, really made it apparent that it's not a positive comment.
All right, Paladin. Do you believe that YouTube is truly a place where anyone can succeed, or do you believe that not everyone is cut out for YouTube as many used to think that it was, where everyone could just get on YouTube and do really well?
Well, I think there's two types of success in YouTube. I mean, you got the viral videos, like that video I saw recently, that Charlie bit my finger one. That ended up going so viral and has got so many views that the family that uploaded it, I mean, they've bought a house from some of the content money that's come from that. You know what I'm saying? Then there's, you've got the steady growth channels where people find you. You've got some sort of content that's good and people like, subscribe. It was useful to them. Maybe it was a hints and tips video. Maybe it was a funny video, stuff like that. And that's still possible. It's just there's a lot of people doing like frag videos and stuff like that. So try and make your video something special. Try and be entertaining, try and be funny in the video, but also I find it's good to have a bit of educational stuff in the video so people can walk away as if they've learned something or they've got something to go on or at least able to share or relate to you with what you're saying. People like to understand how you feel and think about different stuff because they want to be able to relate, just like anyone else.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good case for that. Pretty much answered my question. So, do you have any advice for someone who is looking to get into YouTube, specifically TF2 YouTube, and when everything's already been done, uh, how can you give them a little piece of a little nugget of knowledge from the Paladin Cave of Treasures?
Okay, well, besides what we just said in the last question, if I go to like my analytics and I see where my growth really took off, it's one of two things. I did a video that people liked and they shared it around their social media, and I can see where I got interest in my channel from people sharing it amongst themselves. The other type of growth happens when YouTube has just decided by itself, hey, people are watching this person's channel. I'm going to start suggesting this channel more at the end of other videos that are about the same kind of stuff. And there's absolutely no way to control that YouTube number except making sure you've got generally enjoyable content that people are thumbing up, that people are watching all the way through to the end. You know what I'm saying? Though those are the type of numbers that YouTube uses to try and self promote your video.
Yeah, nothing we can do to change the algorithm unless
No,
you're
no,
like,
you can't change the algorithm, but what you can do is understand that the algorithm's there and try and work with the numbers game. Make sure you've got an interesting video that people do want to see all the way through the end. It's not like a 5 hour video that has 10 minutes worth of something good in the middle of it somewhere.
yeah,
Nothing clickbaity. Clickbaity won't do it.
yeah, and I know Matt Pat from I know I think you've watched you we've talked about game theory before. He found a way with the algorithm. Now, granted, you already have to have viewers for it, but it's just an example that you can work with the algorithm. Where like game theory on his channel, the Game Theorist is the most popular series out of like the four series that are on it,
Yeah.
but he spaces them out in such a way that they get the most views. All their videos would get the maximum amount of views that they could get out of the people who are interested in them.
Well, you see, that sounds good. That seems like something I would need to learn that I haven't really looked into. I just have kind of worked out that it exists, and I haven't worked out the science of it.
Yeah, you're a smart cookie, IT and all.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
So, how do you think 2015 and the TF2 dev team have treated our beloved game in this past year?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, there's been a lot of updates, but with each update, I really like the ones where it updates the actual, functionality of the game. Has it got new maps or new weapons that change the functionality? And partway through this year, we had gunmetal that nerfed a lot of spy stuff, and so there were several months where spies were having a hard time because a lot of the stuff got nerfed, and then it came back and they buffed a whole bunch of stuff. So it was really kind of crazy. I found there was a whole lot more community made content in the updates. So I don't know. Overall, I think it was if you look at the actual things that got updated and changed and stuff, I think it's been a year where there's been a lot of updates, but people are really, hit or miss on whether or not they enjoyed the updates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I there's been a lot of mixed reactions about the past few the updates that we've had in the past year and all that. I will say like this is like the most updates I've ever seen for
Yeah, I
TF2 in a
mean
year.
it's been frequent updates for a game of its age, having this many updates, especially ones that attempt to tweak or add actual functional changes to the game. It's pretty neat, I guess.
Yeah, and you've gotta commend the dev team because you know how Valve offices work, where their desks have wheels, where if they want to work on a different project, they can wheel their desk to another project room and just start working on it. So I think it's about a total of like 8 people working on TF2, and they've just like they've been. I know we've had a lot of issues with the dev team in the past, like specifically End of the Line and everything, but
Hmm.
you got to give them credit for being that they really do love the game, and they're trying to help out the community uh and in their own special way. Well, I don't know about buffing the flog, but at least they nerfed it. Even
Yeah,
the
that was an odd choice, wasn't it? It's like the community's already like, oh, this is kind of strong, and then they're like, well, let's make it stronger.
Yeah, and I'm glad they nerfed it. I think they nerfed it in the wrong direction. I think they should have just like kept the you couldn't be pushed back, but removed and kept the health regen, but remove the Uber. Basically, just give it like a little slight thing to where
I,
you
I
just can't get
I don't know. I,
pushed.
I was kind of okay with dealing with it as it was, but now that it's got the Uber, I can't backstab it during the taunt. So as a spy main, I would have preferred the old flog, but you can deal with this one. Once you see him go into the taunt, just give yourself some distance and then go for damage after the taunt, especially since they can't get the health up.
Yeah, if you really want to be gutsy, go with a taunt that stuns
Oh
in the
yeah,
Ubers, like
yeah, that'd be
the
fun. That
Huntsman.
maybe I've got to try that for a video. See if I can get a stab, stab, stab with the huntsman onto a phlogistonator.
Oh, I kind of want to see that now. You've
Yeah,
got it. You
now
have to
that you
do it
mentioned it,
now.
let me put that on the to-do list. Frantically search around the map for a phlogistonator and try to huntsman kill them.
You won't have to search that hard. So, if there was something you could have changed, stopped, or added to TF2 for 2015, what would it have been?
Changed, stopped, or added. I would not have nerfed the dead ringer like they did. It's okay that they brought it back in a balanced state, but I think nerfing it in the first place was a little odd. I would not have buffed the flog. I think some of the maps, like Snowy Coast, has a alien theme. I think it should have gone with Invasion. There was a couple of other things that should have been released with Invasion that I saw that I didn't think got released. Uh, you know that who knows why their choices. Also, a lot of skins came out, and skins. I'm not too thrilled on skins because they're no functional difference. All it seems to be is a cash grab, especially when you open up a crate just to get some beat up looking skin that is not kill streak and it's not strange. I think if you open a crate, you should at least get a kill streak or a strange, even if the skin is on one of the lower tiers. It seems like a waste to spend 250 on.
Hey, I will say this: I did unbox an unusual Corsair scattergun with this past update, so I'm kind of happy about that. Um, yeah, and speaking of maps being released in a weird order, how about the this the Halloween event this year where they released two maps, the Halloween versions of them, but still haven't released like added the actual original maps into the game.
Yeah, that was a funny choice. And then they released that Halloween map where it had all the bosses at the end, so you can't really play the map because of all the boss shenanigans going on. It was really kind of odd.
Oh, the one where the ghost was on the cart and you
Yeah,
couldn't
the
do a
the
chain
ghosts were on
stab
the
or anything,
cart, and the
or the
skeletons were in the next section. And you had the horseless, headless horseman in the next one, and then they had like three monoculars at the end. Jeez,
I believe they're pronounced
it was
monoculi.
monoculi. Yeah, what do you call several floating eyeballs?
Scary.
A flock of eyeballs.
Yeah, that map was absolute hell for red team.
Yeah, well, there was hell if you tried to actually play the objective on it, which I like to do. But once I realized how all the bosses were coming out, I'm like, well, this is just a silly map. Just go onto it to have some silly fun. But I mean, if your team wins or your team loses, it's it's nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, and this next question is actually like kind of going to ring off of your what you just said about the weapons. Is like, are you disappointed that there were no functionally new weapons added to the game? Do you feel like we got screwed with only weapon skins, or do you feel like they were a good addition to the game, or that
I
they could have been added with entirely new weapons?
I think they added a couple of skins that really could have been functionally different, like the Kappa and that laser sniper rifle that just
The
took the
Machina
stats of
skin.
the Machina. Yeah, I mean there was a chance to actually have them be functionally different somehow, but they didn't. They just did some visual effects and that's it. So I don't know. I thought that was a strange choice.
Oh yeah, we could have had them like set the enemy team on fire for like half damage. We could have
Indeed.
that fire team video you've always been
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I keep saying, what's a really good way to make the sun on a stick useful? Well, let's make the entire team revolve around burning the enemy, and you've got your soldier with the cow mangler. He can burn people, and have huntsman snipers with their burning arrows, and if you have a couple other ways to deal burning damage with other classes, that wouldn't hurt.
The heavy with the Hulong heater.
Yep, heavy with the Huolong, and I mean, if the engineer takes the Thompson, he can set arrows on fire with the Thompson. I don't know if everyone knows that or not.
Yeah, I think I learned that only recently. Yeah, you still got to get on that, man. I'm still waiting.
But I need how-to videos on every little TF2 trivia.
No, no, not that. I was talking about the fire team.
Oh, the fire team deal. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe what we need to do is get a bunch of YouTubers together and just go into a public game where the only goal is to say, "Hey, Freddy, grab your son on a stick. We're gonna make it useful."
Oh, everyone like no one's aliasing to either.
Yeah, no one's aliasing in. We're just going against regular people, but we're trying to make some of the really bad weapons in the game actually work.
You'll give some people heart attacks if they filled up the server.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, I find with the community games, I really do like playing the game without aliasing my name away. Just I don't tend to upload a lot of those videos because what happens is the people who are playing them are just happy to be in the game with you, so they often do some silly things that's not worth uploading. But I do like spending time with the community and just having fun with people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I feel you, bruh. And yeah, I even right now I do like hopping into a game and seeing someone who's subscribed to me join me in the game, or just joining into a game, and by that random chance, seeing a name you recognize from the YouTube channel or the Steam group. It's just that random chance stuff that makes it really fun. And yeah, it's always
Yeah.
fun to play with a community when they're playing
And
right.
and then you get the flip side people that are really strange. They follow your videos and they join the Steam group and they'll join you in game, but their purpose is to join the opposite team and do their very, very best to try and counter class or disrupt whatever recording you're trying to do, or
Yep.
maybe kill you in a bizarre way for going the objective. It's all sorts of crazy. Well, what people get in their mind to entertain themselves with is curious sometimes. I'm sure there could be a college class on the mentality of people online that are playing Team Fortress 2 for sure.
Oh yeah. Mm.
Everyone has their own different goals sometimes, and it's not the team goal, which is disconcerting sometimes.
Yeah, it's like we discussed this in a live stream once, Germa's video about it. It's like literally like four different games going on in one server.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, back when massive multiplayer online games came out, the guy who invented it, the guys who made like Ultima Online, they recognized that there was four different types of players. There's the players who want to completely dominate everybody else, and they're the guys who would, like in TF2, go into comp and make sure you get the rating. Then there's the social player in the MMORPG who have the clubs, the crafting guilds and stuff like that. You have the people who just want to achieve stuff. Maybe they want to explore the entire map. They want to find every nook and cranny and where all the hidden chests are and stuff like that. And then there was another type. My memory's not good, and I don't remember the other type. But there's a way to look it up.
They're
I could
probably
see if I
not.
could
They're
find it right now if you want to know the exact name of it. But it was a study that was done just to try and understand the mindset of gamers, and then try and tweak your game in order to have those things. And that's why you're seeing games now that have achievements. Have you ever thought about that? Why are there achievements in game? They don't really do much. It's because there's some gamers out there that really, really want to get all the achievements.
I thought it was just because we were being dumbed down to the point that we needed to have a little icon pop up on the screen saying we did good.
No, it's because some people really, really do appreciate it. It's like a trophy on their shelves to complete a game and have the game 100 complete achievements.
Yeah, I've got over half of the achievements, and I kind of want to get the rest of them.
Yeah, I was playing like Demo Man the other day, and I got the one where I shake my booty at somebody, and I'm like, well, that shows how often I play Demo Man and then taunt after killing something.
Oh yeah, so you've gotten those too, where you've gotten the achievements like, what? I could have swore I've gotten some of these before.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
that one's so blindingly obvious. How did I not get that?
yeah, I had one with like the where you kill the stun player as a scout after you Sandman them, and I was really good with the meat cleaver Sandman combo at one point, but I guess I was just hitting all heavies and had to mop them up with the scatter gun
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
odd. It's like I know I've killed people before in this game.
Yeah. It's strange, man. Unless it's like unless they change the achievements to like Valve servers only or something, which I don't know if they could restrict.
Yeah, I don't know because yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So, you mentioned competitive, which brings me to my next question. We know you're not a competitive player. Well, one reason being time, another reason being the use of external services, and a
Yeah,
few
yeah. I
others.
think those are the two major reasons. One is it takes certain time zones and time frames, and I find I'm in Eastern Standard Time, but I'm a family guy. So in the evenings in Eastern Standard Time, where comp games tend to happen, I would not be available. So I find if matchmaking would come out, that would be a good thing. I'm sure I'd play a good bit of that because that's not as time restricted or anything like that.
Yeah, that's so do you feel like you, even though you don't play, do you still feel like you've contributed to the competitive scene in some way? And do you have like, do you wish it well, or you like if it stopped working tomorrow, you wouldn't care?
Oh no, it's there. It goes back to that other style of gamers. It's there for the type of gamers who really really enjoy that kind of stuff, and I enjoy watching some videos from there too. There's some really good content because I like seeing people who are really working together in this game, and it's very entertaining to see people who have grown used to how they act and can play off each other's actions and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely a place for it. I wish it was a part of the core game and you didn't have to use a third party product like I was saying before. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I try and relate to the core TF2 player who's not going off downloading extra stuff. For a while, I wasn't even running a HUD so that people could relate to the fact that, hey, you can play this game well without having any changes to it.
Yeah. And speaking of matchmaking, how do you feel about matchmaking on the horizon? And you remember TF2 was built to be a casual game, and the admins didn't really think there was a need for competitive until the invite. And what we didn't know though was that when the invite players, the best players in the world, begged Valve to make one, they said, "Oh, we've already started working on one." And they still didn't think, they thought it was going to be like a niche thing because the competitive scene is relatively small. But looking at the Steam group for the official competitive beta Steam group that Valve owns, there's over 55,000 players in it. That's like the average amount of TF2 players in a day.
Yeah, people are interested in it. I think it's again one of these timing issues with TF2 itself, and when it was originally a mod for Quake, and how it came in with Team Fortress Classic, and then you had your Counter Strike and your Counter Strike Source, and it seemed like Counter Strike and stuff got a bigger comp scene than Team Fortress ever did. And when they made Team Fortress 2, I think that was about the time when Counter Strike itself was, you know, the whole competitive scene with all kinds of games, like StarCraft and stuff like that, really started to take off. So I think it's more of a timing issue where, because it wasn't a part of the planning from the ground up, it's now they're thinking about retrofitting it because the game is still popular. I think Raj went over the numbers on it recently as to how many people are playing, how many people leave and come back, and that kind of thing. So it's still a popular enough game to look into spending the time and effort to make this portion of it.
Right. What a lot of people forget, and I remember it, and I know you'll remember it, is that when TF2 came out, matchmaking, like competitive gaming was still in its infancy. Like there was MLG and that was it, and matchmaking didn't exist in games really, unless it was like the consoles where matchmaking was literally just them putting you into a server ran by the company hosting the game. But there was no like actual like competitive matchmaking. That all kind of came after TF2.
Yeah, I think it's a timing issue. I think the TF2 itself, the core part of it, came out before the big boom online with esports and a whole bunch of games becoming viewed on YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, and do you think this could be like another renaissance of TF2? Do you think it won't change the game that much, or like it could TF2? It could have extended its lifespan by like 10 years because
I don't think it'll impact it all that much because there's so many community servers are out there that already have like ways to rank players against each other, and people don't really mind. All it'll be is some of the players will be more concerned about their kill death ratios and stuff like that than previous, and you might get a couple games that will play more like lobby because you're going to be having the matchmaking scene on it. You know what I'm saying?
yep. And what do you think Overwatch coming out this spring spells for TF2? Because I know a lot of people have said before with different titles, it's the same thing with like League and Dota have had this kind of thing where they like the concept of like the new game comes out. They like the concept of it, but they don't really like how it was executed or how it feels, so they go to this other format that is like a similar concept, but it's
Yeah.
functionally a different game. Do you think
Yeah,
that would help
and
at all?
and I think TF2 would have to watch out for games with its class base and its team objectives. So, like I was saying, the Battlefield games, Overwatch is definitely something that should concern the teams behind TF2 for sure. I mean, I know I've even had games where I've been really hyped about a game, but I'll go play it. It's a new game, and then I don't know. For some reason, I stopped playing it, and then I never look back. And then I'll be looking through my Steam library, and I'm like, oh, well, I haven't played that in a long time. I didn't really miss it much, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think another thing that would help with that is the $40 Overwatch price tag versus the free TF2 price tag.
Yeah, TF2 has a pretty good free to play to premium model. I think it's really good the way it's done. You don't have to do anything, but if you choose to, even if you choose to, it's not very expensive. The only thing wrong with the model is it's allowing people to make cheating and scamming type accounts pretty quickly and easily.
Yeah, that is quite the epidemic right now, and hopefully, especially with matchmaking, Valve will have a way to solve that, or at least make it not as much more easily managed problem.
Oh, well, I don't expect to have that problem in a matchmaking environment because after you get over the first few tiers or whatever they decide to set up, you shouldn't see any of it.
Yeah, that mixed with, I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a matchmaking pass. It would make sense to me that you had to buy a pass to get in.
Yeah,
Was another way to deter them.
based on their last updates, I would probably expect there to be a pass to get into matchmaking.
Yeah, which wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
No, I mean, again, you have to compare it against your other forms of entertainment. You've got your massive multiplayer online games, or you've got movies and TV where you're paying out the wazoo all the time. So throwing a couple bucks at a game that you play regularly is no big deal.
Yeah, and so, will we be seeing any matchmaking gameplay from our favorite sniper who got confused and thinks he is a spy despite not being French? Yeah,
Say what?
yeah, you
I
were
don't
supposed
understand your
you
question,
were
sir.
supposed to be a sniper and you know it.
Oh, okay, because I'm Australian. Is that it? Are we going racial?
You're white.
I am. Oh,
You
dang.
didn't notice? Did you think you're Aborigines?
Oh, dear Lord.
So will we be seeing matchmaking gameplay at all? Like maybe just like the casual game?
I don't see why not. It all depends on how it's implemented. I mean, again, so long as I can play a matchmaking game whenever, I don't really see why not. I won't need third party stuff to do it. I mean, yeah. About all it'll mean is like I'll be sure to play with friends a bit more in those type of games instead of it being like the regular public game where you just teaming up with anyone. I got to be able to trust that the people I'm joining with are there to play the game and not just follow me around and hit me with a fish or something like that.
Gotta protect that rank.
Yeah, I mean, if rank is going to be a concern to people, you got to start playing like it matters.
So, are there possibilities of us seeing MrPaladin form a competitive team since there will no longer be an external source required to play a lobby of competitive play? One of your main obstacles just eradicated?
Well, like I just said, probably a group of friends. I don't know if I'd get so serious mode that I'd need a hardcore team of mercenaries who all paint our faces the same way or anything.
So what else do you hope to see in store for TF2 in 2016?
Oh, what the? If I had a suggestion that I could drop in a suggestion box at Valve, I would say reduce the price of keys.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say make them a buck. If you're gonna give us a skin that's all scratched up from a crate that's not guaranteed to be kill streak and it's not guaranteed to be strange or anything, make them a buck. The people who are buying keys will just buy more, and I know it causes problems with the market, and that's what they're going to have to manage. But I really think 250 is a little too high for what you get from crates.
Yeah, it kind of is. So, I hear you are in searches for a new home server. Are you going to join another community or possibly rejoin CSN or fly solo like the spy does?
Well, I never really left CSN as a group. I just haven't frequented their servers in quite some time. I mean, I'm always on good terms with several of the CSN members who have come into a couple of videos. But no, I'm looking for my own kind of affiliation, and especially an affiliation of servers that's across a couple of continents. I'm trying to get Euro and US covered because I still play games on Euro. Like I say, I play at weird times of day sometimes. So playing early in the morning over in a Euro server tends to work out for the Euro guys, and they like it. And I don't mind playing with a little bit of high ping if it makes everyone happy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I'm talking with some guys, and we'll probably have some servers up real soon.
these exciting times for TF2 and TF2 YouTubers alike.
Indeedy.
So I'm most excited about matchmaking. I'm going to be jumping into that day one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said before, the comp type players would be all over that, and they would be happy for it.
Yep. So, do you have any closing statements, any words of wisdom from the Vault of Paladin word bank?
I've only got dad jokes. That's all I've got.
Give us a dad joke.
What's the difference between broccoli and snot?
What?
You can't get a kid to eat broccoli.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's the
Man,
dad.
them boogers, they taste good.
It's the ultimate dad. Okay, that's the ultimate dad joke.
Well, it's not the ultimate one, but there's lots of. Actually, my youngest son is really good at popping off dad jokes. It's off the chain. He's going to make a great father one of these days.
That's good to know. His future is secured.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to go on dates with several girls who are going to roll their eyes at everything he says because it's just all grimy.
But thanks for taking the time out to talk to the viewers and everything. I
No
hope
problem.
I know they'll enjoy it, and it's been a fun time discussing things. Getting to learn a little bit more, getting to see inside the dark, decrepit, deep fathoms of the mind of Paladin.
Exactly. I'm trying to do more videos like that too. I've been doing the vlogs lately where people are seeing the recesses of my warped mind.
Staring directly into your soul.
Yes, if you look into the abyss, be careful as it may be looking back.
All right, Nietzsche. But thank you guys so much for watching, and the people who frequent my channel know what I'm about to say. If you like the video, hit the like button with a guaranteed crit, and if you dislike it, feel free to hit it with a random crit. You know how this shit works. My name is Rayburn. If you want to see more, subscribe to become an extraordinary mental gen today. And if you don't know what Paladin's server is, I don't know how you got to my channel or Paladin's YouTube channel. If you don't know a server, I could put that down there as well. But you can also find it on a Steam group and everything, and that's a lot easier.
Just use Google.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like for reals,
Is
Google
that
exists.
is that like a what is that again?
It's www.theinternet.com.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.